Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever let somebody mess up your whole mood before lunch? One text, one look, one slick comment, and boom, your whole energy gone. Let me tell you something, people will test you. Life will test you. And if you don't learn how to protect your peace, you'll be angry all the time, snapping at folks, stressing out, and letting the world control your emotions like a puppet on strings. But here's the truth. You don't have to live like that. You can get to a place where nothing rattles you, where folks can talk, gossip, lie, act up, and you still sip your coffee like it's just another Tuesday. That's what this is about. Real power, emotional freedom. I'm talking about learning how to walk through fire and not get burned. By the end of this talk, you're going to have the tools to stop giving people access to your peace. Because the goal ain't just to stay calm. The goal is to be unbothered. Stick with me, because the moment you master this, you stop living in reaction and start living in control. People's opinions are not your problem. Say it again to yourself. Let it sink in. What someone else thinks about you is not your business, not your burden, and definitely not your truth. We spend way too much time trying to manage how people see us, what they say about us, or how they treat us. But here's the thing. They don't live your life. They don't know your heart. And most of the time, they're projecting their own pain, their own insecurity, and their own mess onto you. You got to stop carrying their words like weight. You were never built to walk around holding other people's baggage. You have your own journey, your own purpose, your own peace to protect. And when you give people the power to define you with their opinions, you give them permission to control your emotions. Let's make this plain. When someone talks about you behind your back, that says more about the character than it does about yours. When someone tries to belittle you, it's often because they feel small inside. When people criticize your dream, your vision, your choices, they're really just talking to themselves. Maybe they're too scared to chase something big, so they want you to shrink. Maybe they're stuck in the past, and watching you grow makes them uncomfortable. Whatever it is, it ain't about you. So why do we take it personal? Why do we get so worked up when someone gives their 2 cents about our lives? Because deep down, we still want validation. We want to be liked. We want to be accepted. And that's natural. But it's also dangerous if it becomes your fuel. Because if the approval of others lifts you up, then their disapproval can tear you down. You can't build your confidence on shaky ground like that. You have to decide who you are and stand firm in it. You need to know your worth so clearly that someone else's opinion can't touch it. Imagine walking into a room and somebody throws shade at you, and it doesn't even land. It just bounces off. That's what happens when you stop giving weight to people's words. You become unshakable, unbothered, unstoppable. Here's a truth a lot of folks don't want to hear. Not everyone will like you. Not everyone will support you. Not everyone will understand you. And that's okay. You weren't put here to make everyone comfortable. You were put here to grow, to thrive, and to live in your truth. So let them talk. Let them misunderstand. Let them roll their eyes. You keep moving forward. Now, I'm not saying ignore all feedback. Constructive criticism from people you trust, that's valuable. Wisdom from someone who's walked the road you're on, that's priceless. But random opinions from people who don't know your story, that's noise. And you don't have to listen to noise. Think about how much peace you lose replaying something someone said to you days or even years ago. Why? Why let that energy sit in your spirit? Why let it live in your head rent-free? If their words don't help you grow, let them go. If their opinions don't align with your truth, release them. You don't owe anybody an explanation for who you are, how you heal, or where you're going. You want peace. Start by letting go of the need to be understood by everyone. You want freedom. Start by not reacting to every voice that has something to say. You want power. Learn how to walk past opinions like they're whispers in the wind. They don't define you unless you let them. Here's something real. When you stop caring what people think, they lose the ability to bother you. You take your power back. And when you own your peace, your life changes. You smile more. You sleep better. You stop apologizing for who you are. You move with purpose, not permission. And that right there is how you rise. So the next time someone throws shade, remember this, that's their shadow, not yours. You don't have to carry it. Keep shining, keep walking, keep building. Their opinions are not your problem and never will be again. You can't control what people do, but you can always control how you respond. That right there is the key to living a peaceful, powerful life. Most people waste so much energy trying to change the behavior of others. They get mad when someone lies, frustrated when someone's rude, or irritated when someone doesn't do what they expected. But let's get one thing clear. Trying to control someone else is a losing game every time. You don't own other people's mouths. You don't run their choices. You don't decide their mindset. So why let their behavior pull you into chaos? Why hand them the keys to your emotional world? The moment you react out of anger, you give them power. The moment you get pulled into drama, they've succeeded in pulling you off track. That's what reaction does. It gives control to the outside world. But when you pause and choose how to respond, that's when you win. You don't have to raise your voice. You don't have to match their energy. You don't have to explain or defend yourself to every opinion that walks by. You can choose calm. You can choose silence. You can choose to walk away. That's real power, not reacting, but responding. See, reacting is emotional. It's instant. It's raw. But responding is thoughtful. It's strong. It's wise. When someone disrespects you, your first instinct might be to snap back. But think about it. What does that actually do? Does it fix anything? Does it bring peace? Or does it just pull you deeper into the mess? Now imagine this. Someone tries to press your buttons, and instead of blowing up, you smile and move on. That's strength. Not because you're weak, not because you're scared, but because you're in control. You're choosing peace over chaos, growth over ego. You've got bigger things to do than argue with small-minded people. This doesn't mean you let people walk all over you. It doesn't mean you tolerate disrespect. What it means is you stay in the driver's seat. You handle situations with wisdom, not rage. You don't let every little thing derail your focus. You protect your time, your energy, and your emotional space. Think about it like this. You only have so much energy each day. Are you going to spend it arguing with someone who's not even worth your time? Or are you going to use it to build your life, chase your dreams, and love the people who matter? Every time you respond instead of react, you make that choice. A big part of this is learning to pause. That pause, it's magic. It gives you a moment to breathe, to think, to ask yourself, is this worth it? Most of the time, it's not. That pause is where your power lies. Because in that moment, you decide who you're going to be. Are you going to be someone who loses control every time something doesn't go your way? Or are you going to be someone who stays cool, calm, and collected, even when the storm hits? And let's be honest, sometimes the storm is people. People who test your patience, people who lie, people who take advantage. But your job isn't to fix them. Your job is to stay grounded, to hold on to your peace no matter what chaos is around you. When you master your response, life feels lighter. You stop feeling like you're on an emotional roller coaster. You stop taking things so personally. You realize that how someone acts is about them, not you. And that's when you truly become unshakable. You'll be amazed how peaceful life becomes when you stop trying to change other people and start focusing on your own reaction. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. That's strength. That's freedom. Because the truth is, nobody can make you angry. Nobody can make you lose control. That's a choice. And every day, in every situation, you get to choose who you're going to be. So choose peace. Choose power. Choose to respond, not react. Let them act up. Let them talk. Let them show who they are. You stay true to who you are because your reaction is your responsibility. And when you master that, nothing and no one can mess with your peace again. Silence is your superpower. It may not feel like it when someone's pushing your buttons, running their mouth, or trying to get a reaction out of you, but silence is strength. When people throw negativity at you, the loudest thing you can do is stay quiet. Why? Because silence says, you don't have that kind of power over me. It says, I'm in control of me, and you're not worth disturbing that. See, people who are loud, aggressive, and always trying to prove a point are usually the ones who feel the weakest on the inside. They're fueled by insecurity, ego, and the need for attention. They feed off drama, off conflict. And when you engage, you feed them. But when you stay silent, you starve their power. You take away the only thing they came for, your reaction. Most of us were raised to believe that if someone disrespects you, you better speak up or you'll look weak. But let's be real. Sometimes saying nothing is the most powerful thing you can do because silence isn't about weakness. It's about wisdom. You're not ignoring the disrespect. You're rising above it. You're saying, I don't argue with nonsense. I don't explain myself to chaos. I don't trade my peace for petty. And that's where the real shift happens, when you stop feeling the need to clap back. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every fight needs your presence. Not every voice deserves a reply. Some people are just noise, and your silence is the volume knob. Think about it. How many times have you regretted the things you said in anger? How many times did you walk away thinking, I shouldn't have said that? But have you ever regretted staying calm? Have you ever regretted keeping your dignity intact? Probably not, because silence protects your peace. It gives you space to think. It allows you to respond with clarity instead of reacting with emotion. And the truth is, some people want to see you angry. That's their goal. They want to provoke you, get you out of character, make you look foolish. Don't give them that satisfaction. Let them talk. Let them act up. You stay cool. You stay silent, because silence doesn't mean you didn't notice. It means you chose to handle it with class. There's also another side to silence. It gives you power in conversations that matter. When you listen more than you speak, you learn more. You understand more. You gain insight. You keep control. While others are busy proving a point, you're gathering information, observing, and choosing your moment. That's strategic silence. That's power. And in situations where emotions run high, arguments, disagreements, family drama, silence can be the space between escalation and peace. That moment when you pause instead of scream. That second where you take a breath instead of throwing fuel on the fire. That's the moment where you choose peace. And that moment can save a relationship, a job, a future. People who master silence don't get walked over. They walk with authority. Their presence speaks before they do. Because when you don't feel the need to react to everything, you start to own the room differently. You become someone people respect, not just because of what you say, but because of how calmly you hold yourself when others lose it. So the next time someone tests your patience, remember this: not reacting doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're strong enough to choose peace over pride. It means you value your energy more than you value being right. It means you're focused on what really matters: your growth, your peace, your future. Silence doesn't mean surrender. It means strategy. It means self-control. It means you've learned the difference between what deserves your voice and what doesn't. And once you understand that, nobody can throw you off balance again. Stay silent. Stay strong. Stay unbothered. That's how you win. Let's talk about energy. Not the kind that powers your phone or your lights, but the kind that powers you, your mindset, your peace, your purpose. See, one of the biggest reasons people stay angry, bitter, or frustrated is because they keep giving their energy to things that don't deserve it. They give their time, their thoughts, and their emotions to people and situations that have nothing to do with their future. And then they wonder why they're tired, drained, and stuck. You only have so much energy in a day. That energy is like currency. And just like you wouldn't hand your money to someone who never pays you back, you shouldn't keep handing your energy to things that don't give you anything but stress in return. It's time to start protecting your peace like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Every time you argue with someone just to prove you're right, that's energy gone. Every time you replay an old conversation in your head, thinking about what you should have said, that's an energy gone. Every time you scroll through social media, comparing yourself to somebody else, or trying to keep up, or letting other people's opinions make you feel small, that's energy gone. And what do you get in return? Nothing. Just more stress, more distraction, more distance from your purpose. It's not your job to fix everyone. It's not your responsibility to carry every conversation, correct every misunderstanding, or prove your worth to people who already made up their minds. That's a full-time job that pays in frustration. And you deserve better than that. You need to ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this conversation, this drama, this person, are they helping me grow, or are they keeping me stuck? And if the answer is no, you've got every right to walk away. Not out of anger, but out of wisdom, out of peace, out of knowing that where you're going is more important than where they're trying to keep you. When you protect your energy, you start to glow differently. You become more focused, more grounded, more at peace. You start giving your time to the right people, the ones who lift you, support you, and speak life into you. You start using your energy on things that actually matter, your goals, your health, your healing, your future. And guess what? When your energy is focused on what matters, you don't get bothered by nonsense. You don't get angry over every little thing. You're too busy building something real to waste time on what's fake. You don't have time to hold grudges, argue with haters, or worry about people who aren't even part of your journey. You got purpose to chase, peace to protect, greatness to walk in. Some people won't understand your boundaries. They'll think you're being cold, distant, or acting different. Let them think what they want. You're not here to make everyone comfortable. You're here to grow. You're not responsible for how they feel about your peace. You're responsible for keeping it. Protecting your energy doesn't mean you cut everybody off. It just means you stop letting everyone in. Not everyone deserves access to your space, your thoughts, or your heart. You have to be selective, not out of fear, but out of strength. You've been through too much, grown too much, to let just anything shake you. And sometimes protecting your energy means checking yourself too. It means not dwelling on negative thoughts, not feeding old stories that no longer serve you, not talking yourself out of your own greatness, because the biggest energy thief isn't always out there. Sometimes it's that inner voice, that doubt, that fear, that self-judgment. You've got to protect your energy from that too. So how do you do it? You set boundaries. You say no when you need to. You walk away when it's toxic. You spend time alone when you need to recharge. You stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You get quiet when the world gets loud, and you remind yourself that peace isn't found out there. It's built in here. Protecting your energy is how you stop being angry all the time. It's how you stop letting people get to you. It's how you take your power back. You are not a sponge for other people's chaos. You are not a dumping ground for drama. You are a powerful, focused, peaceful force. And when you protect your energy, the world has no choice but to respect that. Sometimes the biggest peace you'll ever find is in simply walking away. Not because you're weak, not because you're scared, but because you finally understand your value. You finally realize that not every battle is worth fighting. You realize that some people thrive on chaos, and the best way to win is not to play their game. You don't always have to explain. You don't always have to argue. You don't even always have to respond. Sometimes the greatest strength you can show is in the silence of your exit. Walking away doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about yourself not to stay in spaces that rob you of your peace. Too often, we hang around situations or people thinking we can fix things. We think if we just try harder, say the right thing, be more patient, maybe things will change. But here's the truth. You can't fix what doesn't want to be fixed. You can't heal what keeps cutting you. You can't pour into others if you're constantly being emptied. There's power in knowing when to leave the conversation, the relationship, the environment, or even your own negative thoughts. When you stay too long in a place that drains you, you begin to shrink. Your spirit gets tired. Your joy disappears. Your purpose gets cloudy. You start second guessing yourself. And that's when you know it's time to go. See, walking away isn't quitting. It's choosing peace over pride. It's choosing growth over comfort. It's choosing your future over your past. Some people will try to guilt you for that. They'll say you gave up too soon, that you're selfish, that you should have stayed. But only you know what it cost you to stay as long as you did. Only you know the weight you carried. And when you've carried something heavy for too long, let it go is not giving up. It's setting yourself free. It takes real strength to say, this no longer serves me. It takes wisdom to realize when peace is more valuable than proving a point. It takes maturity to understand that not everyone deserves access to your time, your energy, your heart. You've got to protect that. You've got to guard that, because if you don't, the wrong people will drain you dry and still ask why you're not giving more. Walking away also means you trust yourself. You trust that what's ahead is better than what's behind. You trust that your worth isn't measured by how long you can endure something painful. You trust that the right people, the right situations, the right opportunities will never require you to lose yourself in the process of keeping them. Sometimes you've got to walk away to hear your own voice again, to breathe, to heal, to remember who you are. And the moment you choose peace over drama, dignity over ego, clarity over confusion, you'll feel a shift. The noise gets quieter. The path gets clearer. And you start to realize that peace isn't something you find outside. It's something you protect on the inside. Walking away teaches you that peace isn't passive, it's powerful. It's the bold decision to stop entertaining what exhausts you, to stop chasing what isn't meant for you, to stop begging for what should be freely given. Respect, honesty, love, peace. There's freedom in letting go. There's healing in the goodbye you never thought you'd say. And there's strength in walking away, not because you're angry, but because you've outgrown the situation. You've grown too much to keep going in circles. You've grown too much to keep sacrificing your sanity just to make someone else comfortable. You're not meant to stay stuck. You're not meant to keep fighting battles that leave you empty. You're meant to evolve, to rise, to walk away from what breaks you and walk toward what builds you. And that decision, that step, that's what takes you from surviving to thriving. So when you feel that tension, that heaviness, that constant drain, don't ignore it. That's your soul telling you it's time. Time to leave what no longer fits. Time to release what keeps hurting you. Time to walk away, not in bitterness, but in peace. Not in anger, but in wisdom. Not in weaknesses, but in the quiet confidence of someone who finally knows their worth. Letting go is hard, especially when you've invested time, emotion, loyalty, and love into someone or something. Maybe it's a person you thought would always be in your life. Maybe it's a job you gave your all to. Maybe it's a friendship, a relationship, or even a version of yourself that no longer fits where you're going. Whatever it is, holding on to what's already gone or what no longer grows you does more damage than walking away ever could. We're taught that letting go is giving up, that it means you didn't try hard enough or care deeply enough. But that's not the truth. The truth is, letting go is an act of courage. It takes strength to say, I deserve more than this. It takes wisdom to recognize when something is no longer healthy, no longer fulfilling, no longer helping you become the person you were meant to be. And it takes faith to step into the unknown when everything in you wants to cling to the familiar. Letting go means you stop dragging the weight of people's opinions, expectations, and disappointments. It means you stop replaying the same painful memories in your mind like a broken record. It means you forgive, not necessarily because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. It means you make peace with the past, so it stops messing with your present. You cannot keep growing and healing while holding on to bitterness, anger, or regret. Those things will poison your joy, cloud your clarity, and stunt your progress. They keep you anchored to a moment in time that you can't change. And the longer you hold on to it, the more power it has over you. Letting go doesn't mean you forget what happened. It means you stop letting it define you. It means you stop letting it write your story. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become in spite of it. You get to decide if that pain becomes a prison or a platform, if that betrayal becomes your identity or your lesson. And sometimes you've got to let go of the idea of closure. Not every chapter ends with a perfect explanation or an apology. Some people will never admit they were wrong. Some doors will close without warning. Some relationships won't give you the ending you hoped for. And that's okay. Closure is not always about getting answers from someone else. Sometimes closure is looking at the situation and saying, I don't need to understand it to be done with it. I choose peace over pain. Letting go is also about releasing control. It's about accepting that you can't force people to stay, you can't force things to work, and you can't rewrite history. You can only own your response. You can only choose how you move forward. And when you realize that the only thing you truly control is your mindset, your peace becomes non-negotiable. We often fear letting go because we think it means losing something. But what if it's not loss? What if it's making space? What if letting go is how you open your hands to receive something better? Something that matches your growth, your values, your journey. Sometimes the blessings you've been praying for can't reach you because your hands are too full of what you refuse to release. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care about yourself enough to stop suffering. It doesn't mean you forget the good times. It means you acknowledge them, appreciate them, and understand that everything has its season. Not everything is meant to last forever. Some people come into your life as blessings. Others come as lessons. And once you learn what you needed to learn, it's okay to let them go. It's also important to know that healing is not linear. You may let go today and feel free, then miss them tomorrow. That's normal. Healing is messy. It's not about pretending you're okay. It's about giving yourself permission to feel, to grieve, and then to rise. Again and again if necessary. Letting go is a decision. It's you standing in your power and choosing to move forward without the weight of what held you back. It's a promise to yourself that you're no longer available for what drains you. It's the start of something new, something lighter, something aligned. So take a deep breath. Say the goodbye, even if it's silent. Release the guilt, the anger, the what ifs. Let it go. Because what's ahead of you is too valuable to be held hostage by what's behind you. You've got places to go, peace to protect, and a life to live fully, freely, and without apology.